Hi guys, Nikhil here. Welcome to Salesforce Troop, part 12 of our Lightning Web Component series. And today's topic is creation of record without Apex call using Lightning UI Record API. So it's the continuation of our previous part in which we learn how to use wire service and the wire adapter. So this video gonna be pretty short, and so in last video we have seen like there are different types of UI API modules available, and we covered UI list API as well as UI object info API. So in today's video we'll start working on UI record API, and we'll only cover the first one, that is create record function adapter. So create record function or wire adapter we usually use when we have to create the record with the customized form in the sense if you need a more freedom to play around with the form. Otherwise, always it's preferable to consider lightning record form if it's a basic form. And to import that, you need to call the adapter create record. It's a function, and you need to import that adapter from the UiRecord API. So let's go to our VS Code and see how to use this. So in our VS Code, we're gonna create the lightning component. Open your command palette, select lightning web component, and we'll give the name as create record demo. You see, so our component is created. Create record demo. So the first thing, we'll just enable the expose, change the expose to true so that this component be visible on all the pages. I'll set targets like all record page, app page, and home page. So let's go to our JS file, and in JS file, first thing we need to import our create record adapter. So I have imported the create record adapter from UI record API, and again today we're gonna play with the account form or the account object. So we'll import the account object reference. So I'll use the alias as account object, and we're gonna call it from @Salesforce schema slash account. It can be any object, whether a standard or a custom. I'm using right now again standard object, that is account. And what all fields we gonna update, so those references you can take. I have taken, like, I have 4 fields. I have just copied this. I'll explain you. So first I'm importing the account object reference, like account, that standard account reference, and creating an alias. So we're gonna use that reference with the account object name. Similarly, while creating the record, or I want only 4 fields for creating the record. First is the name. So I have using the reference like object dot field name. So account dot name, account dot phone, account dot industry, account dot type. And similarly for all the fields, I have created the alias. So as you know, alias is just the name for the reference. And Let's first create our form. So for form, let's define first a reactive property, and in the property I will say name. I want one name field. I'm gonna use one industry field. I'm gonna use one phone field, and I'm gonna use one type field. You can go with any number of fields that all are present in the object. So I'm going with the four basic field: name, industry, phone, and type. And I'll go to our HTML and create the lightning card first. Lightning card, and I'll give the title as create card using. So we are using UiRecord API. So I'll say using UiRecord API, and I'm just gonna close this. If you want, I can give the icon as well. For icon, I'm gonna use standard account. I guess this icon is there. If you want, I'll zoom my screen a little bit. Yeah, it's yeah, this is better. And we're gonna add some margin around this. I'll close this. We'll add one class that gives us a good margin around our card so that our form should not look like touching the borders. And in this, I can create one lightning form. I'll go with lightning form, lightning input, lightning input. That will take first label, enter account name. We'll say we'll use one property name, and it's very important for this demo. I'll explain you why, and that is a better way to play with your forms. So always give the name property to your input field, and I'll go with type text, and value is form fields. What we have defined here, we're gonna use that form fields dot name, form fields dot name. Apart from that, I will close this, and similarly we'll copy it 4 times, 2, 3, and 4. For second one is enter your phone number, and I'll give this name as phone. Keep the type text as it is. This also phone. Another one is your account type, and we'll say enter industry. Here it's type, and here it's industry. And we'll just copy the property that we have defined fields form fields dot name, phone, type, and industry. Now our form is ready, and let's add one change handler so that our fields also get update on change. We want our method name to be change handler, and the best thing that we're gonna learn today is how to handle form elegantly using the same change handler. So I'll use the same method in all of the fields, and I'll go to my JS file, I'll create a function that will take the event, and we're gonna use the destruction property. So I'll pull out the name value and name from event.target, and we're gonna update our property called form fields equal to, we're gonna use spread operator just to break the reference and to make our form or the data immutable. So I'll say name column value. So this is the trick to play with the forms. So we have defined the name in our HTML field, name, phone type, industry, same as the properties inside the form field object. So with the help of the same names, we gonna dynamically update that value for that particular property, and it update our form easily. And first we go and deploy this, and let's see how it's looking. After that, we'll write the logic for our create record. So it's deployed now. Let's go to our org, and in our org we already have our app Salesforce group. In Salesforce group, I'll go to the app page wire adapter, click edit page. So it will take us to the app builder page where we will see our component. We have configured the meta file correctly. I'll drag that to the canvas area, and you can see our form is visible now, but we forgot to add the button. So we'll add the button as well. So now our form is looking good. Let's go to our VS Code and add the button and the other stuff. So I'll create the lightning button, and I'll say label submit, and on click of this button we're gonna call handle save, variant brand, and let's go to our JS file. Let's create our save functionality. So save function, within the save function we're gonna write our main logic. So first thing we'll create our we call our create record function, and it takes two parameters. That is, it takes the record input, and record input is object that contains two parameters. One is API name, and our API name we already know, that is account object. So this account gives us the API name. So we'll say account object dot object API name, that is the property available under this object. and the other thing they want is fields. So let's quickly create the fields and want to send. So we already get the reference of all the fields. So I'll say fields of, I have four fields. First one is name field. I need name field dot field API name equal to this dot form fields dot name. So we are mapping the name to the name field dot field API name. Likewise, you're gonna do for the rest of the fields, which all field you wanna pass or send. So next is phone field. Third one is industry field, and the fourth one is type field. And similar way, you can map the corresponding data phone with phone, type with type, and this is industry and industry with industry. So what we have done here is we have created an object fields, and fields we have created another property with the name field dot field API name. So it's a dynamic way of creating the property for an object, and we are assigning the value that we are getting from our form. So this returns the promise. So if you don't know the promise, you can watch my JavaScript video. So to resolve the promise, you can use then or await async. So we are preferring here then property. So once it returns the result, we going to mtr form and will console.log. It will return us the whole object account object with all the property that exists inside the form with the IDs and all. So we'll just print the account created ID, and that ID will come under the result dot ID. To look in the console in a better way, I'll say stringify it. So once the record created successfully, console this the ID that has been created, otherwise we'll catch the error, and within the error I'll say console dot error, and I guess that's good enough to test now. This field is not mapped, I guess. Right field, okay. So it's good. Let's deploy this. And you can see we haven't wrote any line or single line of code for Apex, and it's too easy to create the forms or records using LWC. Let's go to our org. Let's refresh the page. Let's create, say, Salesforce group number, count type, and anything groups, industry, company, and click submit. Let's go to console and see whether the ID got created. You can see the ID got created here. Let's go to the accounts to verify. Open the accounts. Now you can see the one we have just created. You can able to see here, and we just created the account name as Salesforce Troop, phone number. We add industry as dummy, type as troop. So within like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, we created the record. And likewise, you can create any record that you want. And if you want to show the toast message and all, you can handle it easily. But for this demo, I'm not doing that, and it's pretty easy. I'll just give you a recap. First, we imported the object that we want to create the record for, and so we are creating the record for account. So we create imported the reference of an account, and then we imported the fields that we want to create, um, that is required while creating the account. So I am taking the reference of name, phone, industry, and type field. After that, I created the form, and for the form, I just used a object of properties that I mapped with the value, and on change of the value on the form, I'm just updating this object. And there is a button on the form, save, and on click of that we are calling this handle save. In this we are mapping the fields property to the field API name, and once that's done, we create a record input that takes two parameters. One is the API name, another is the fields. So API name tells which type of record they want to create, whether you want a contact or an opportunity or account. In our case, it's an account. And the fields, while creating the account record, so we pass those fields, and it's an promise call. So once the call is success, it returns the promise. To resolve the promise, we are using then we are emptying our form, and we are consoling the record ID that got generated. And we just now seen how easily we created that. So this is what for the this is for the today's video. And I come up with a short video this time because last time it was too many things I covered, so I decided I'll go one by small chunk of pieces in one go. And thank you for your time. If you have any doubt or anything, you can ask me in the videos comment, or you can see the code if you need anything from the video's description. Thank you.